Good morning. Welcome to yet another terrific Tuesday. Let's start our day with some learnings and before that, some peak state programming, which will make us reach to a peak where we all can manifest our dreams right in the morning. So let's go for it. Let's visualize our dreams and run towards them, knowing that we are a winner. So, once again, let's start. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm a winner. How wonderful. Left leg in the front, right in the back, and once again, let's run. Yes. We all are winners in our game of life. We play our life with love, joy, and peace. So let's start our day with learnings. Can I have a volunteer for the morning? Thank you. So, Ikigai, today we will talk about longevity. We again talked about, we completed the chapter yesterday, the fourth chapter. Today is about the fifth chapter. So, oh, yes, artist way. I think I'm sleeping. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, so for the artist way, I really hope that all of us are doing assignments because if you're just hearing, nothing will come our way. We have to do the assignments. Without that, nothing is going to come. So it's week 7. We have Parul Gupta the reader. So today, the week 6 is all about recovering a sense of abundance. So in abundance, it's in all realms. We all have been born with abundance, but somewhere down the line, we've forgotten about it. Today's chapter is going to bring us closer to that, to make us understand a lot about that. So this week you tackle a major creative block, which is money. And money is the easiest to gain, but for many people, it's like the toughest thing to crack. You're asked to really look at your own ideas around God, money, and creative abundance. The essays will explore the ways in which your attitudes limit abundance and luxury in your current life. You will be introduced to counting, a block-busting tool for clarity and right use of funds. This week may feel volatile. So yes, let's go for this week with the section on the greatest creator. Yes, over to you, Parul.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Recovering a sense of abundance. The great creator. I am a believer, Nancy declares. I just don't believe God gets involved with money, although she doesn't recognize it. Nancy carries two self-sabotaging beliefs. She believes not she believes not only that God is good, too good to do money, but also that money is bad. Nancy, like many of us, needs to overhaul her God concept in order to fully recover her creativity. For many of us, raised to believe that money is the real source of security, a dependence on God feels foolhardy, suicidal, even laughable. When we consider the lilies of the fields, we think they are quaint, too out of it for the modern world. We are the ones who keep clothes on our backs. We are the ones who buy the groceries. And we will pursue our art, we tell ourselves, when we have enough money to do it easily. And when will that be? We want a God that feels like a fat paycheck and a license to spend as we please. Listening to the siren song of more, we are deaf to the still small voice waiting in our soul to whisper, "You are enough." Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added to it. We have been told, often since childhood, by people quoting from the Bible. We don't believe this, and we certainly don't believe it about art. Maybe God would feed and clothe us in a pinch, but painting supplies. A museum once a museum tour to Europe, dance classes. God's not about to spring for those, we tell ourselves. We cling to our financial concerns as a way to avoid not only our art, but also our spiritual growth. Our faith is in the dollar. I have to keep a roof over my head, we say. Nothing's going to pay me to be more creative. We are awfully sure about that. Most of us harbor a secret belief that work has to be work and not play, and that anything we want to do, like write, act, dance, must be considered frivolous and be placed a distant second. This is not true. We are operating out of the toxic old idea that God's will for us and our will for us are at opposite ends of the table. I want to be an actress, but God wants me to wait tables in hash joints. The scenario goes. So, if I try to be an actress, I'll end up slinging hash.
Wait for a moment. So let's understand that money is not about lack of it or toxic old ideas. You have to believe in the goodness of money, that how money can help you live a life of abundance where whatever you want, you can do, and whatever you want, you can buy. But if you have ideas, abundance is not just about money, it's about your job, it's about your health, it's about your everything. So Raymond Charles Barker says, money is God in action. Shakti Gavan says, the more we learn to operate in the world based on trust in our intuition, the stronger our channel will be and the more money we will have. So please trust your gut feeling. Please trust it and please abide by it. Don't procrastinate, and you will be a channel for more money, more abundance, more everything. Mike Phillips says, money will come when you are doing the right thing. And what's the right thing? The abundant life set mindset vis-a-vis the lack of it, the poverty mindset that we've already studied. But this chapter will take us deeper into the understanding. Now let's understand through stories and more things. Yes, please.
Thinking like this is grounded in the idea that God is a stern parent with very rigid ideas about what's appropriate for us. And you'd better believe we won't like them. This stunted God concept needs alteration. This week, in your morning pages, write about the God you do believe in and the God you would like to believe in. For some of us, this means, what if God's a woman and she's on my side? For others, it is a God of energy. For still others, a collective of higher forces moving us toward the highest good. If you're still dealing with with a God consciousness that has remained unexamined since childhood, you're probably dealing with a toxic God. What would a non-toxic God think of your creative code? Might such a God really exist? If so, would money or your job or your lover remain or your lover remain your higher power? Many of us equate difficulty with virtue and art with fooling around. Hard work is good. A terrible job must be building a moral fiber. Something, a talent for painting, say, that comes to us easily and seems compatible with us, must be some sort of a cheap trick not to be taken seriously. On the other hand, we give lip service to the notion that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. On the other, we secretly think that God, God wants us to be broke if we are going to be so decadent as as to want to be artists. Do we have any proof at all for these ideas about God? Looking at God's creation, it is pretty clear that the Creator itself did not know when to stop. There is not one pink flower or even 50 pink flowers, but hundreds. Snowflakes, of course, are the ultimate exercise in sheer creativity. No two are alike. This creator looks suspiciously like someone who just might send us support for our creative ventures. We have a new employer. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous promises recovering alcoholics. If we take care of God's business, He will take care of ours. To battered AA newcomers, such thinking is a lifeline. Desperate for a way to achieve sobriety, they cling to this thought when worried about their own pre- precarious abilities to live effectively. Expecting divine help, they tend to receive it. Tangled lives smooth out. Relationships gain sanity and sweetness. To those less desperate, such assurances sound foolish, even deceptive, like we are being conned. The God who has a job for us, the God who has fulfilling work, the God who holds abundance and dignity, who holds a million possibilities, the key to every door. This God can sound suspiciously like a flim flam man. And so, when it comes time for us to choose between a cherished dream and a lousy current drudgery, we often choose to ignore the dream and blame our continued misery on God. We act like it's God's fault we didn't go to Europe, take that painting class, go on that photo shoot. In truth, we, not God, have decided not to go. We have tried to be sensible as though we have any proof at all that God is sensible, rather than see if the universe might not have supported some healthy extravagance.
So very important for all of us to understand that here we're talking about the virtues. What virtues do we have? What imagination do we have for God? What perception do we have for God? Are we looking at Him wanting to give us everything, or are we looking at some ideal notions of ours? God is always ready to give. He's ready to do everything, but you have to do karma and with the belief and do the act, right? If we don't believe in that and if we are into the drudgery and all the time complaining, and we complain and then we blame the poor God that okay, God has done this, He's done that. That means you're not in tandem with Him. You're not in you're not in alignment with Him. You are not sensible about it. You have to learn to trust the universe, trust the process, trust your life. Once you do that, everything unfolds very, very, very beautifully. Paul Hawkins
Ma'am,
said,
my younger one has woke up. Could you please, could
yes,
somebody else
sure.
please?
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
So sorry, so
Somebody,
sorry.
that's just fine, Maro. Please take care of him. So, yes, Sanya has raised her hand. So, whilst Ritesh sir makes Sanya the convener, let me read about Paul Hawkins. So always leave enough time in your life to do something that makes you happy, satisfied, even joyous. This has more of an effect on economic well being than any other single factor. So please understand this very, very, very clearly that you have to find something that gives you happiness. And you must prioritize, you must give it time. जिससे खुशी मिलती है हमें, जैसे सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलती है, जिससे जॉय मिलता है, उस चीज को हम नहीं करते हैं. तो वी हैव टू प्रायोरिटाइज दैट, डू दैट. बाय उससे भी abundance आती है, because your happy hormones are released, and the happy hormones are there for a while. So please understand, every day some soulful indulgence must be in a part of your schedule. It must be, so that आप better progress कर पा रहे हैं. Yes, Anya, are you with us?
The Creator may be our father, mother, source, but it is surely not the father, mother, church, teacher, friends here on earth who have instilled in us their ideas of what is sensible for us. Creativity is not and never has been sensible. Why should it be? Why should you be? Do you still think there is some more moral virtue in being martyred? If you want to make some art, just a little art, two sentences, one rhyme, a silly kindergarten ditty. God likes art, that's the part my parents would ignore. God likes art, and I make art. That's what God likes for me. Making art begins with making hay while the sun shines. It begins with getting into the now and enjoying your day. It begins with giving yourself some small treats and breaks. This is extravagant, but so is God. Is a good attitude to take when treating your artist to small bribes and duties. Remember, you are the cheap steak, not God. As you expect God to be more generous, God will be able to be more generous to you. What we really want to do is what we are really meant to do. When we do what we are meant to do, money comes to us, doors open for us, we feel useful, and the work we do feels like play to us. We will continue to work this week with our ideas surrounding money. We will see how our ideas about money it's hard to get if you have to work long hours for it. You need to worry about money first and creativity second. Shape our ideas into creativity.
So very important for all of us to understand that if you are doing indulging in something which is me time, even if it's not too much, like here they've given an example of just writing a silly rhyme or just doing a small little painting or whatever. Start treating yourself to something that you love, which is what we are talking about artist date all the time. So artist date can start coming in every single day in a smaller portion. So when you're really meant to do something and you're doing it, you're indulging it. Doors are opening of abundance. And then we're feeling, wow, I'm indulging in this. More power to me. It's amazing. And somehow it's linked to your ideas of abundance. When you're happy, the happy hormones release, and that time you say, oh, abundance is in my way. I can do whatever I want. And then even money seems very easy when you're creative. So creativity is very important for money as well. In this beautiful book called The Magical Work of the Soul, it's quoted, all substance is energy in motion. It lives and flows. Money is symbolically a golden flowing stream of concretized vital energy. So imagine they've compared money so beautifully in a poetic way to flowing stream of concretized vital energy. Isn't that what money is? It's always flowing. आज आपके पास है, वो कहीं और जा रहा है, फिर आपके पास आ रहा है, फिर कहीं और जा रहा है. That's what money does. It's just flowing. It's energy. And yet, if you're hoarding it, you're stopping it. So just enjoy spending it. Enjoy, in the fact that you can buy anything that you want, and just with the belief, the more I spend, the more I get, because it's money, it's energy. Energy is for movement. Imagine your body has energy, static energy. खड़ी हुई एनर्जी, आप तो बॉडी का काम करना बंद हो जाएगी, बिकॉज एनर्जी का काम है मूव करना. So very important for us to now understand that money is to there to move. So I can't park my money and say, oh, meri saving hai. So you have to spend something out of it to get more out of it. Now let's talk about a section called luxury.
Luxury. For those of us who have become artistically anoretic, yearning to be creative and refusing to feed that hunger in ourselves so that we become more and more focused on our deprivation. A little authentic luxury can go a long way. The key word here is authentic because art is born in expansion, in a belief in sufficient supply. It is critical that we pamper ourselves for the sense of abundance it brings to us. What constitutes pampering? This will vary for each of us. For Gillian, a pair of new to her tweed trousers from the vintage store conjured up images of Carol Lombard laughter and racy roadsters. For Jean, a single sprightly Gerber daisy perched on her night table told her life was abloom with possibility. Matthew found that the scent of real furniture wax gave him a feeling of safety, solidity, and order. Const- Constance found luxury in allowing herself the indulgence of a magazine subscription, a $20 gift that keeps giving for a full year of images and indulgence. All too often, we become blocked and blame it on our lack of money. This is never an authentic block. The actual block is our feeling of constriction, our sense of powerlessness. Art requires us to empower ourselves with choice. At the most basic level, this means choosing to do self care. One of my friends is a world famous artist of formidable talents. He is assured a place in history for his contributions to his field. He is sought after by younger artists and respected by older artists. Although not yet 50, he had already been singled out for Lifetime Achievement Awards. Nonetheless, this is an artist suffering in the throes of artistic anorexia. Although he continues to work, he does so at greater and greater cost to himself. Why, he sometimes wonders to himself, does his life's work now feel so much like his life's work? Why? Because he has denied himself luxury. Let me be clear that the luxury I'm taking about here has nothing to do with penthouse views, designer clothes, zippy foreign sports cars, or first class travel. This man enjoys all those privileges, but what he doesn't enjoy is his life. He has denied himself the luxury of time, time with friends, time with family, above all, time to himself with no agendas of preternatural
Pretty
accomplishment.
yeah.
His many former passions have dwindled to mere interests. He is too busy to enjoy pastimes. He tells himself he has no time to pass. The clock is ticking and he is using it to get famous. Recently, I bought myself a horse for the first time in a decade.
One second, Sanya. So in this story, I don't know how many of you understood. This guy is super famous. He's been singled out for lifetime achievement award at the age of 50, which people can get sometimes when they've crossed over or sometimes much later in life. But why is he feeling like it's been a lot of work? Just because his guy hasn't lived his life. Calm, calm, calm. That's what he's indulged in. So imagine at 50, this gentleman doesn't know what life is. And now again, life is a mixture and life has so many emotions. If you have no family, you have no friends, you have no me time, then how does it make life worthwhile living? So please, again, repeating to all of those who are workaholics, please plan time at home because the clock is definitely ticking and you can't let the clock tick away and then you like realize, oh my God, I didn't do this. Remember, love is what carries us. If you and I am not in love with life and we haven't enjoyed our beautiful moments growing up and there's been no love exchange, our life is not worthwhile. Remember the day you're going to be crossing over and you have obituary sex time happening when people are going to be paying an ode to you. What will they talk about? But if love is what you've spread around, people will talk such good things. So maybe that selfish interest, fall in love with yourself in your life. Give people the time, and more than that, give your loved ones the time. There are many people who go out and help others and do things for them, but they forget the duties towards home. And then that's also an abyss. You remember to strike it clean, to balance yourself, to fall in love, to live life, pamper yourself, and then move on. Keep moving on and on and on. Yes, now let's talk about her story.
Recently, I bought myself a horse for the first time in a decade. On hearing the good news, my accomplished friend moved immediately into his wet blanket mode, cautioning, well, I hope you don't expect to get to ride it much or even see it much. As you get older, you do less and less of the things you enjoy. Life becomes more and more about doing what you must. Because I have learned to hear wet blanket messages for what they are, I was not too daunted by this prognosis, but I was saddened by it. It reminded me of the vulnerability of all artists, even very famous ones, to the shaming I should be working side of themselves that discourages creative pleasures. In order to thrive as artists, and one could argue as people, we need to be available to the universal flow. When we put a stopper on our capacity for joy by anorectically declining the small gifts of life, we turn aside the larger gifts as well. Those of us, like my artist friend, who are engaged in long creative works will find ourselves leeching our souls to find images, returning to past work, to tricks, practicing our craft more than enlarging our art. Those of us who have stymied the workflow completely will find ourselves in lives that feel barren and devoid of interest, no matter how many meaningless things we have filled them with. What gives us true joy? That is the question to ask concerning luxury, and for each of us, the answer is very different. For Berenice, the answer is raspberries, fresh raspberries. She laughs at how easily pleased she is. For the cost of a pint of raspberries, she buys herself an experience of abundance, sprinkled on cereal, cut up with a peach, poured over a scoop of ice cream. She can buy her abundance at the supermarket and even get it quick frozen if she has to. They cost $1.98 to $4.50 depending on the season. I always tell myself they are too expensive, but the truth is that's a bargain for a week of luxury. It's less than a movie, less than a deluxe cheeseburger. I guess it's just more than I thought I was worth. For Alan, music is the great luxury. A musician when he was younger, he had long he had long denied himself the right to play. Like most blocked creatives, he suffered from a deadly duo, artistic anorexia and prideful perfectionism. There were no practice shots for this player. He wanted to be at the top, and if he couldn't be there, he wouldn't be anywhere near his beloved music. Stuck and stymied. Alan described this block this way: I try to play and I hear myself, and what I can do is so far away from what I want to do that I cringe and then quit. Working on his creative recovery, Alan began by allowing himself the luxury of buying a new recording a week. He stopped making music work and started making it fun again. He was to buy crazy recordings, not just high art. Forget high minded aspirations. What sounded like fun? Alan began exploring. He bought gospel, country, and western Indian drum music. A month of this, and he impulsively bought a set of practice sticks at the music store. He let them lie and let them lie. And 3 months later, Alan was drumming on the handlebars of his exercise bike while rock and roll blasted through his Walkman. 2 months later, he cleared a space in the attic and acquired a second-hand drum kit. I thought my wife and daughter would be embarrassed by how bad I was, he explains. Catching himself in his blaming, he cops, actually, I was the one who was embarrassed, but now I'm just having fun with it and actually sounding a little better to myself. For an old guy, I'd say, my chops are coming back. For Laura, a dime store set of watercolor
One
paints.
second, Sridhar. So now we heard two stories. So one is so beautiful that she's giving herself time and she's creating herself, she's pampering herself, and she's not bothered about what is being said about it, what she doesn't care. She's going back to something and practicing something soulful. So it's giving her true joy. And for Alan, again, he's giving himself the pleasure of true joy. He's exploring. He's buying music. He's just loving it. And now he's just not even embarrassed of how, people judge him because he himself is in such a beautiful place that he's having fun. He's letting himself just grow and just grow out of the mundane tasks. So it's very important to find ourselves. Now, many of us have blocked creatives, but it'll take some time. You will get out of it if you're doing the artist way properly. Luxury is the line which I loved in this line is luxury is a learned practice for most of us. Block creatives are often the Cinderellas of the world, focused on others at the expense of ourselves. We may even be threatened by the idea of spoiling ourselves for once. So let's understand it's not about society, it's not about family, it's not about anyone, it's just about us, us, and us. Sometimes, if you indulge in us time, my time, you will be a much better father, a much better mother, a much better partner, a boss, a child, or whatever. So, block creatives are hampering our journey, but giving ourselves time, that soulful indulgence time, that artists date once in a while, is such a therapy. So, please understand that it's enough is enough. You have lived for the world. Now it's a time to live for yourself. Because जब आप अपने लिए जीते हैं, that's when you discover life. So, Emma Goldman says, I'd rather have roses on my table than diamonds on my neck. So, for her, roses make her happy, and that's what is her belief. And CJ Jung says, explore daily the will of God. What does it mean? What is God's will? To keep you in the best of moment. He says, love is there everywhere, light is everywhere, abundance is everywhere. And yet you choose to believe that, oh, lack of love. And you say, I hate it, I dislike it. And you say, oh, it's so dark here, things are not happening very well. You're complaining. And then you say, oh, lack of abundance. इतना पैसा ही नहीं अभी कैसे कर लें? So learn to just grow out of this blocked mindset of yours. Yes, Tanya, please.
For Laura, a dime store set of watercolor paints was her first foray into luxury. For Kathy, it was the Deluxe Crayola set, the kind my mother would never get me. I let myself do two drawings the first night, and one of them was a sketch of me in my new life, the one I'm working toward. But for many blocked creatives, it takes a little work to even imagine ourselves having luxury. Luxury is a learned practice for most of us. Blocked creatives are often the Cinderellas of the world. Focused on others at the expense of ourselves, we may even be threatened by the idea of spoiling ourselves for once. Don't try to let go of Cinderella, my writer friend Karen advises. Keep Cinderella, but focus on giving yourself the glass slipper. The second half of that fairy tale is great. What we are talking about when we discuss luxury is very often a shift in consciousness more than flow. Although, as we acknowledge and invite what feels luxurious to us, we may indeed trigger an increased flow. Creative living requires the luxury of time, which we carve out for ourselves. Even if it's 15 minutes for quick morning pages and a 10-minute mini bath after work. Creative living requires the luxury of space for ourselves, even if all we manage to carve out is one special bookshelf and a sill that is ours. My study has a window shelf of paperweights and seashells. Remember that your artist is the youngster, and youngsters like things that are mine, my chair, my book, my pillow. Designating a few things special and yours alone can go a long way toward making you feel pampered. Chinatown Anywhere offers a beautiful teacup and saucer for under $5. Secondhand stores often have one of a kind china plates that make an afternoon snack a more creative experience. Much of what we do in a creative recovery may seem silly. Silly is a defense our wet blanket adult uses to squelch our artist child. Beware of silly as a word you toss at yourself. Yes, artist dates are silly. That's the whole point. Creativity lives in paradox. Serious art is born from serious play.
Serious art is born from serious play. So if you're finding your artist did silly, array, who's going to give 2 hours to just something? Strolling in a park may give you those beautiful feeling. Yesterday while I was at Udaipur, the property is absolutely beautiful. I've been there before. I mean, so the idea was a green idea. It was so beautiful everywhere. There were these beautiful waterfalls and there were these lotus ponds everywhere. So everyone was having breakfast, and I'm not into food right now. So I had a good long time for myself to walk around the entire place. It was like a therapy in itself. And that's when your creative experiences are born. When you indulge in something soulful, you do something for yourself and not follow the tribe. It's very important to, that's when you and I recover, because you're indulging in my time. So it's all right. Don't feel it silly. Just do it. Sometimes procrastinating and thinking is what kills. So very important that this week we are being taught to just get over these basic ideas. It's a very simple week. This time it's a very, very simple week. But some of you may think it's kind of silly, but silly is sometimes good. Leo Tolstoy says, true life is lived when tiny changes occur. So small little changes you'll start discovering in yourself. Okay, this is better. Okay, I'm doing something for myself. Okay, amazing. And that small is the first step you're taking towards a world of abundance. So today's exercise is beautiful. Why are we doing this counting exercise? Because money is also about counting, right? How much I have in a bank. It's all about mathematics, about numbers, about calculation, about counting. Today we're going to be doing a counting exercise. So Fania, please read.
Counting and exercise. For the next week, you will be discovering how you spend your money. Buy a small pocket notepad and write down every nickel you spend. It doesn't matter what it is for, how tiny the purchase, how petty the amount. Petty cash is still cash. Each day, date a page and count what you bought, what you spent, where your money went, whether it was for groceries, lunch in a diner, a cab ride, subway fares, or a loan to your brother. Be meticulous, be thorough, and be non judgmental. This is an exercise in self observation, not self flagellation. You may want to continue this practice for a full month or longer. It will teach you what you value in terms of your spending. Often, your spending differs from our real values. We fritter away cash on things we don't cherish and deny ourselves those things we do. For many of us, counting is a necessary prelude to learning creative luxury.
So it's definitely counting will help many of us, especially whoever has money blockages, even those who have abundance. Please indulge in this. It's I know it's too much. You're like, but who will count this? Yeah, कितना का ये लिया, कितने का वो लिया, क्या खरीदा, क्या spend किया, क्या आया गया. It's not very easy, but please be meticulous, be thorough. Please be non-judgmental. This is an exercise in self-observation, not self-flagellation. So please remember, very, very, very important for all of us, and we must indulge in it. How do we do this? Thank you, Sanya, for reading so beautifully. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Parul, for beginning the chapter for us. Thank you, my dears. Money, madness, and exercise. Complete the following phrases. People with money are. So what's your belief? क्या belief है आपका इसके बारे में? Money makes people. What do you think? I'd have more money if my dad thought money was. My mom always thought money would. In my family, money caused. Money equals to what? What do you think? If I had money, I'd do what? If I could afford it, I'd buy, I'd whatever. If I had money, I'm afraid that if I had money, I would. Money is, money causes. Having money is not. In order to have more money, I need to. When I have money, I think money. If I want so cheap, I'd. People think money. Being broke tells me. These are some about 20 questions. It's a phrases that you have to complete. Now, this in itself will give you an idea of what do you think about money. क्या आपके past beliefs थे, क्या present beliefs हैं, and क्या आपकी wishes and desires हैं. All will come in this 20 questions. The tasks are very beautiful. Natural abundance. So we have to find 5 pretty or interesting rocks. Please go to the gardens, search for these beautiful rocks. I enjoy the exercise particularly because rocks can be carried in pockets, fingered in businesses, and can be carried in pockets, fingered in businesses meetings. They can be small, constant reminders of our creative consciousness. So it's very important that, okay, we're finding these rocks, and now they're reminders how wonderful they are, and they're sometimes an extension of something pretty and beautiful. Life is amazing. Life is beautiful. I've created it. So please find this. It's very beautiful. Number two, natural abundance again. Pick 5 flowers or leaves. You may want to press these between wax paper and save them in a book. If you did this in kindergarten, that's fine. If like, so I have these pressed flower in this book of mine. I had done this book before. So just whichever flowers you like, just press them, and they're reminders. They could be leaves, whatever you want to put them in a wax paper. So they are part of my this artist book and a couple of other books. If you do this in kindergarten, that's fine. Some of the best creative play is done there. Let yourself do it again. So yeah, do it again. Please use it. They can be used as bookmarks also. Sometimes they're beautiful and they become amazing. Number three, clearing. Throw out or give away 5 ratty pieces of clothing. So they made us do Pele also, now also. Something that you haven't worn in a year, you're most likely never to wear it again. So in your wardrobe, about if you see by large, 25% of clothes are what you're wearing. 75% are just kept there in the thing, okay, one day I'll wear it. Okay, useful रहे, कभी पहना है, but नहीं आता. You're always buying new and new and new and wearing those only. And the old ones are just kept. So please find these 5 ratty pieces. It will also declutter your mind. Number four, creation. Bake something. For everyone who doesn't know how to bake, please pick up the easiest baking thing. There's so many YouTube videos. Men can bake. It'll be fun. You tell, I'm in the kitchen today. I'm going to bake. A man who's done never anything, and today he says, "Oh, no, Prashant, you can't bake Maggie. So please don't take one thing to make in life and now Maggie. No, you have to bake, and not with your girls, just alone. So everyone, please, yes, mug cake. Very easy to do it. Yes, Radhika gave a beautiful idea. Just put the ingredients in the mug and just bake. Super simple. Bake something. If you have a sugar problem, make a fruit salad. So I hope nobody's got diabetes, but again, if you have, then you can make a fruit salad. Asneet, you're not joining Prashantji. You have to bake, both of you. Creativity does not always have to involve capital A art. Very often, the act of cooking something can help you cook something up in another creative mode. Do you relate this to? Oh my God, this Maggie Club is becoming bigger and bigger. Guys, stick to baking. So please remember one thing, when you're cooking something, remember the phrase, oh, I cooked up an idea. So when you're baking and cooking, firstly, it's something you've never tried before. And your family will be laughing, oh my God, what are you studying? Are you learning to bake or cook? But that time, a lot of your blocked energy is released and you can become so much better. So your creative mode is going to be on and you will start creating something. When I'm time as a writer, I make soups and pies. So it's very important whenever your energy is static and you're not able to do something. The kitchen is a place which, it's a very beautiful place. Just do something, create something, try something, and the energy, the artist comes in you. So that's very important. And I want pictures from the guys, especially. Bharat Bhai also joining. My God, stop it, men. I want pictures from all these men. This naughty 4, 5, 6 of them. And what have you baked? And this will be done today, today or tomorrow, or whenever you're comfortable. Just kidding. Number 5, communication. Send postcards to 5 friends. Okay, so postcards is a kind of done deal. You will not probably go and get postcards, but you can also use this in a modern way of sending probably emails or sending something nice on WhatsApp. Whatever is like a nice flyer, some nice image that you like, write some nice lines for them. This is not a goody two shoes exercise. Send to people you love to hear from. So, say somebody is not in India, somebody's overseas, you haven't heard in a long time, and you're really fond of that friend, but you've just lost touch. So, how about picking up your, starting communication? It's beautiful. So, I'm not saying please go for postcard only. COVID times, let's not even tax the entire postal department, though they're fully functioning. You want, you can do it. It'll be beautiful therapy and it'll be something Oh my God, postcard eyes is something which is not even heard of these days. So you want to indulge in it. The alternate form will be to send a nice flyer and few words of nice feelings for that friend of yours on WhatsApp, whatever you choose. Number six, favorites. List your favorites in the following categories: cars, dogs, flowers, trees, fruits, vegetables, desserts, entours, musical groups, colors. So, whatever you want, start writing your favorites. Why? Because this will also tell you, oh, I love this. Oh, I'd forgotten about it. Many a time you forget about things in life. It's very, very, very important to understand that we are here in a purpose together and we are creating something in our life. We're remembering something that we very happily had forgotten. Reread the basic principles. Today we will send that to you again so you can read in your assignment as well. That's fine. Do this once daily. And this entire week we will read the basic principles again and again and again. From week 4 or mine on page 223. Do this whatever. So we will send these again to you. Clearing. Any new changes in your home environment, make some. So, it's very beautiful to change furniture. I've always seen my grandmother, ये दीवान वहां से वहां चला गया, couch की जगह sofas आ गए, table की location बदल गई. Reinventing your house also is beautiful. It's a pleasure. Or you have an artifact here, change it to there, replace something here. That gives you freshness and more zest of energy. Even men and women, both alike. So even if the woman in their house is the one who does everything, just say, "Arey, मुझे अभी एक बार click कर ले." Next time you revert back to whatever you like. Because some women don't like anything moved from this place to another. So they just like the place. यहाँ है तो यही है. So sometimes tough, but please try. Very, very, very important to try. Acceptance. Any new flow in your life, if you found something which is a new flow, practice saying yes to freebies. So when you get freebies, oh yeah, abundance is coming my way. Amazing, awesome. So yeah, when I'm checking the airport day before, a coin fell out. It wasn't my coin at all. And the gentleman is insisting, ये आपका coin है, आपकी pocket से निकला. I said, दे दो जी. Thank you so much for the abundance. I said, जब मेरा है ही नहीं coin, आपका ही है. I said, okay, मेरे लिए आना है. It's a channel for me. So I said, okay, thank you. So freebies are coming your way, just accept them gracefully. Prosperity. Any change in your financial situation or your perspective on it. So observe now. Financial farak pada hai. What's your take on it? How do you think it's made a difference? Why has it come in your life? Very important to understand that. And any new, even crazy ideas about what you would love to do. Pull images around this and add to your image life. So this is the assignment today, this week, and it's not too tough. In fact, it's so simple that it can be done very, very easily. You can divide that, space it out throughout the week. But the more you do at one stretch, the better it is because otherwise you tend to forget about it. Check in. How many days this week did you do the morning pages? Have you used them yet to think about creative luxury for yourself? How far was the experience for you? So you have to ask yourself, okay, have I done it 6 days out of 7 or 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 7 or 7 on 7? And kuch blockages nikli hai kya? What is the experience like right now? If you say no experience, so if you say no experience, even that's okay. Did you do your artist date this week? Have you considered allowing yourself to? So if you haven't used artist day, you haven't indulged in it, please go for it. But now Julia Cameron says, can you think about two artist date? दो के लिए सोच सकते हैं क्या आप? What did you do? How did that feel? So artist date is very nice to analyze how you're feeling. Most likely you're going to have a very beautiful time there. Number 3, did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? Synchronicity was asked for me last time as well, so I'm going to repeat it. Anything which is repeated in pattern. So if something is using again and again and again and again, which means it's actually coming in your life, or something that's happening again and again, which means it's a cue for you. Number 4 and last check-in is, were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? कुछ ऐसा obstacle है, problem है जो बार बार आता है and you want to recover from it. So just describe it. That's it. So it's not too much to do. Any questions? I would really love to have your reflections about. Ritesh sir, thank you for showcasing the book. We're done with the artist a book right now, The Artist's Way, Chapter 6. So I would very humbly request anyone, if you have had some experience with the Artist Date, Artist Week, something to do with the Artist's Way, please share with us. And if you haven't done it genuinely, you want some help from somebody, your catalyst, your boosters, or even me, we are happy to help. Because unless we own the ownership of doing it, then you'll miss the bus. It's a 12-week course. Today we've completed the half course. Today halfway, 50% is done. So if you still haven't begun to take it seriously, I know a lot of you are doing morning pages, but the Artist Date, many of you aren't doing, the task you aren't doing. So how will you release the blockages that you have? And these blockages, you don't even know that you have them. That's the best part. They're just there and you just don't even know about them. So any reflections? Yeah, I see some comments. Let me read them. Okay, this is all about baking. So no questions. Radhika, you want to share something? Yes, Nathan.
I think the good morning, first of all. I was doing
Thanks for
the
calling.
exercises last week. Exercises. The longest list was how mean I am to myself. Actually, I never realized that. But when I
Yeah,
started writing, there were at least 20 points when I came out from. Uh,
yes.
I,
How
I I thought my life is very simple, but when you start writing, you don't realize it.
yeah,
And I could after that I could realize I never thought about so many things, that what all things do I miss actually of my past, very small things, and they are, I don't know, they buried somewhere in my mind. So when you start thinking in the morning, that point one point, you experience that it's a new person altogether. So this
yeah,
were all lost somewhere in the subconscious mind, and I recall and I feel happy about it. So it's
yes.
a good experience for a person like me who would never used to express or write. So writing and coming out and remembering all good things, I'm really enjoying it actually. Though I'm honestly, I'll confess I'm doing very little, but still, whatever I've done, I'm feeling very happy about it.
Little is great, and I can already see a change. You've analyzed yourself, observed, and how wonderful. Thank you for sharing your light. Amazing. You're one person who I love because you're so infectious in your energy, and you're so open and so straightforward. You haven't done, you'll own it up. You've done, you'll own it up. Experiences you'll share. It's so beautiful to see you. You're energized, fresh face, smiling face, always sharing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Nathan, for sharing your light. Really thankful. Yes, Sakshi, my dear, tell me, where can I? Let's hear you.
Yeah, so very much resonating with what Nitinji just said. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So, I, as a person, always thought that I have more of an analytical mind and not really an artistic mind.
Yeah,
And especially, like, even if
right.
I'm an architect and I come from a family of architects, I always thought that, oh, I'm the least
Right.
artistic one. And now, while doing this, it's really nice. Like, I'm really realizing that I do have an artistic side, which is also,
So
I would
if
like to
you were
share.
artistic, firstly, you wouldn't have been an architect. They're
Yeah.
creators. So artistic side is there, but yes, this is
Yes.
about evolution. So yes, please continue.
Yes. So like when we all tried to paint and sketch together, I was quite surprised to see the result that yes, like I have more confidence in myself now. And also I had like left dancing completely. I used to love dancing and I had completely left like around 7-8 years back, and very much inspired by Rajni ji also. I also enrolled in these online Kathak classes.
Wow.
I've just recently done it, and it's really nice. Like I'm feeling so liberated and so happy all in all. So I'm quite excited about doing this. It's nice. And again, I honestly I did not do a few weeks in the beginning, and I caught up. Like I really invested my entire weekend on this last to last weekend, and I just tried to catch up as much as I could. But it's nice.
The best thing is you already started the journey and you already had the assignments. So slow and steady, we can all actually complete it because they will open up layers of our being. So yeah, the journey has begun, it'll definitely continue. So let's not leave it. I'm really happy to know about your classes and about how you're blooming. Thank you for sharing your light. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Yes, lovely Radhika. I missed you at the retreat, at the
Same.
get together.
Miss,
I was seeing the pictures and I was like, oh, I wish I was there. It was really, really, and we
11
all
of the
had a
sun
blast.
here. It's beautiful. And
And,
with their husbands or wives or children. And I was like, oh
and
my
they were
God,
gelling
bond.
along so beautifully. I mean,
Yeah,
really
it was
good.
very well planned.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Tell me,
Like,
share.
Artist Way has really helped me. Morning pages are like wonderful. I look forward to mornings. Just write it down and just write whatever is coming in my mind. And sometimes it's so beautiful. It's like enlightening. Like, oh yes, this aspect of a new idea has come up, or something or the other is always there. And right now, like doing Artist Way, I've just made a very big decision in my life. Like I've been doing kids clothing for a long time, but
Right.
it was not kind of my cup of tea. I mean,
Okay.
it was I was doing, but yes. But since the lockdown, I've discovered this uh, painting skills and drawing skills, and I've always been a creator. I mean, I love creating. I mean, even like I've sent you the brooches like
Right.
I have made. So like I always feel like there's this creation in me that has to be done. So I'm just shifting. I won't be taking orders like after some time. I won't be taking orders. I'll do whatever, like concentrate on my drawing, concentrate on like making brooches, and even if I'm making dresses, it will be like my creation with some paint or with a sling bag or something or the other. That my creativity is being shown there.
But
So it's like,
Radhika, just I want to be devil's advocate here.
mm,
I'm very happy about your decision. But what you're trying to do is very small, petty money. Clothes are a little bigger ball game. So please think
I
about your
know.
business decision also. Don't flow so much that you forget the practical aspect.
No, it
You
will
know,
be there.
yeah,
It will be there. I mean, see, I can't stop because my customers won't let me stop. They are
just
like,
stop it. Yeah.
yeah.
And even
So
clothes are creation, sweetheart. Even clothes are creation. I
yeah,
mean, it's
clothes.
not be it's not your main cup of tea, but it can be a little biscuit on the side, right?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, that can be there. Even my husband was saying this to me. Like, even if you don't want to, do it fully, but at least, when orders come, I mean, that will be that I know my customers won't leave me. So it will, I think you're right. I think I can keep it as a biscuit
That's why
beside my.
when you said I will not be taking. So we are not
Uh,
supposed to not take. Then we're closing the doors to abundance. So मैं आज पता नहीं चल रहा you already had international tie-up or orders or whatever.
mm,
Don't close the gates. You never know, this will grow up into something big, right? So please don't do that.
yeah.
But yes, I'm very happy that you're
Okay.
unfolding as a creator. And yes, do it. But don't close your business. That's my humble request to you because that's money
Okay.
coming our way. And that's
Yeah,
also
that's
creation
true.
from our side to the others, right? The color
Yeah.
combination you're putting into it is also
Yeah,
creation.
that is true. That is always there, but still, like uh, but I will kind of reduce. That is for sure because I can't concentrate on other.
Your connection is cracking.
Uh, my connection is okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
but I
so
I
thank you for
really
sharing
want to.
that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So thank you, everyone. It's nice to know that people are finding a change. It's lovely to know that you are doing it. And for those of you who still aren't doing up, I think it's time to brace up. All right. So let's have the hard thoughts with the Ritesh sir. And any reader for that? Parul, you can come online. I met your sister at the airport. It's lovely to see her. She's totally your reflection. So would you want to raise your hand? If yes, whoever wishes to raise their hand, please raise so that we can read. And it's beautiful to know that today's affirmation is nice. It's about a topic called lost. Whatever is happening out there is only a mirror of your own inner thinking. And that's absolutely true. Whatever is happening, whatever you see in people, whatever people are behaving with you, and you're like, why will I attract a mother in law who uh, criticizes me, who ridicules me, physically assaults me? Or why will I attract a staff who steals from me? Obviously, these questions will come in your mind. But whether you know it or not know it, they are an extension of your mind. So, what do? We say, I trust the intelligence within me. Very wonderful. So yes, Parul, please read for us.
I trust the intelligence within me. There is one intelligence. It is everywhere, equally present. This intelligence is within you and is in everything that you are looking for. When you get lost or lose something, don't start going into I am in the wrong place. I won't find my way. Stop it. Know that the intelligence within you and the intelligence is what you are looking for now brings you together. Nothing is even lost in the divine mind. Nothing is ever lost in the divine mind. Trust this intelligence within you.
Okay, so how many of you resonate with the line when Paro laughed? How many of you are resonate with like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Oh, I wouldn't find my way. How many of you have said that? It's very important to know that we think about this, but believe me, the cosmic timing, the universe knows what is right for you. You're never in the wrong place. You're actually always in the right place, just that you don't know about it. So please, please, please trust the divine, trust the intelligence within you, and trust that everything is there for a reason. And if you are finding some kind of a opposition or some kind of a place you're not happy, you have to create that happiness. It's all about you. So remember this. Thank you, Parul, for sharing. It's a delight to meet your sister. So it was wonderful. All right. So, and I gave her chocolates for all the children. There are 15 children. And she said, I shall give it to you because you'll appreciate it more than she would. So I think they're going to come your way. So, all right. Okay, I have a request from all of you for the meditation. So, one of our Sangha Mitras, Rashi, her grandmom is 96. She hasn't had anything to eat since 17th of July. And she's in coma. She's at home. And doctors have given up. So, she really wishes that we meditate for her soul that it releases. So, I believe we prayed for Ajay Nanju and the soul definitely released. So, can we do a prayer for release? Is that okay for all of you? If yes, fine. If not, I'll do it on my own, whatever works for you. So just that if you can let me know yeses or no's. And it'll be good for us as well. It's not like it'll only be good for her. So yes, thank you so much. God bless you all. So let's start. Because remember, all of us are healers, and together with the energy, magic happens. Group energy is very, very, very important. So it's very nice to do that. Let's check our postures. Our back straight, our feet firmly placed on the ground below, our eyes closed, a soft smile on our faces. Hands today, if possible, completely open and facing heavenwards. Let's inhale love, feel it pulsating in our bodies. Exhale love, share it with the world. Inhale light, dispel the darkness within. And as we exhale, let's dispel the darkness outside. Be the ones to share your light. Let's inhale release. Release from all blocked creativity, from all attachments. And let's release it. Become free. Life is a giver. Life has a purpose. I most definitely life has a journey. Let the journey continue. Whether we are in a living body or as a soul, remember, life always continues. We must release ourselves of all attachments, become a semi Buddha, realize that we are all here for a unique purpose on Mother Earth. And very often, these very attachments, the worldly attachments, come in the way of our soulful journey. Today, all of us in unison, let's think in our mind that we're holding hands and there's a beautiful energy exchange from one hand of ours and one hand of our Sanghamitra. If possible, you can extend your hands on your left and right as if somebody's holding it and feel the energy exchange. We're seated in a big circle of healers. Our eyes are closed, just the way we sat, just that our hands are joined in conjunction. There's a divine communion between us, and we're imagining in the center a 96-year-old lady who's suffering from her attachment for her loved ones, who's not letting the body leave. The soul wants to leave, but she's holding on to it because of attachment. The body is no longer cooperating. It stopped eating food or drinks. The body is no longer conscious. The brain has given up. The mind no longer wants to live because it's become brain dead. She's almost in coma. But the human attachment is so strong that she's not able to leave the body. Everyone's gathered around her, her loved ones, wishing to see her release. Today, let's all, as our hands are all there, folded together, held together, let's raise our hands a bit higher, again in divine union, and let's bless her, the soul in the center. Dearest worldly body, it's time for you to go home, home to the Supreme Being. Your higher self is now going to release. The soul needs a release. Please leave all the attachments. They don't matter. You have a life even beyond this physical body life. Go embrace it. The world is beautiful up there. Don't think what's going to happen. Just release, release. Release yourself from all worries, anticipation, anxiety, fear of losing the loved ones. Just release. Let it all go. Transcend, my loved one. Transcend. Feel your blessings go to her a bit more. If your hands are tired, you can release them down and even bless them from a comfortable position. Release. Let's all say the word out loud. Release. 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 Dearest soul, now you can bring your hands at a comfortable resting position. Take a deep breath in. The journey of the soul is here to complete its karmas, to make it accelerate, to make it edge a bit higher, to have a higher divine purpose. The soul is trapped in a human body, but the minute the prana leaves, the soul just gets free and flies up. It's time to go home. It's liberation time. Let's imagine the freeing, the birth of the soul once again. New life for the soul once again. For now, it's released from the body. May the human race evolve and be detached from the worldly pleasures. Enjoy them, yes, but not with a very tight attachment. Let us all know everything is an illusion. We enjoy it, yes, but holding on to it is like frustration, anxiety. Let's just know one fact: everything is there to pass, every moment is there to pass. All we have to do is indulge in the present. Today's present moment is about giving blessings to the beautiful body of the lovely grandmother who's lived her life purposefully, and it's time for her to merge with the God. So leave the body here and just fly away. Fly away, my loved one. Fly away. Dear soul, we're happy to see you get liberated once again. May you find your purpose. May you rise in peace. And so it is. We Sanghamitras have gathered today and together to release a beautiful soul. May our prayers, our blessings, our love unfold into exactly what our intention Sankalpa is all about. Let's all say, so it is, so it is, so it is. Now, for our own energy, let's affirm to ourselves, we are life, we are love, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we cherish every bit of it. We give ourselves me time, artistic dates, we indulge in what we love. We go back into our past and analyze who we are, what we loved. Today, we sit down and analyze our thoughts, our beliefs about money. Let's all know that money is always there in abundance. To attract it, all we have to do is feel happy, and all the windows open from everywhere, flooding in with lots of money. Let's embrace the feeling of abundance. We all live an abundant life in all realms and all paths and all dimensions, be it physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, maybe it worldly pleasures. We are abundant, and so it is. Let's bow down our heads in gratitude to Janani Janma Bhumi, Ma Prakriti, and thank her for being an unconditional giver of love, compassion, kindness, and so many more virtues. Dear Mother Earth, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's look at a wonderful life from eye level, eyes still closed. I love you, life. I love you, Zindagi. You have been magical, you are magical, and you will be magical. Because that is my belief. And may we know that we are divinely guided and we live a life with divine love, love for ourselves, our loved ones, and all beings on Mother Earth. May we feel the eternal oneness. So it is. Let's open our hands to the universe above. Dear universe, I thank you. I love you. Thank you for having my back. Dear life, thank you for having my back. To my celestial bodies, gurus, masters, teachers, in this life or the previous, in this realm or the others, in this dimension or the higher ones, I bow down to you in gratitude. Thank you for your teachings. They have made me who I am today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all the divinities, thank you for showering us with your love and blessings. To the angels and guardians, thank you for ensuring we always find magic and we always in a beautiful layer of protection. We love it. We are so grateful. Let's expand our angel hearts. I am love. I am light. I am a healer, and I know whatever I want happens. I accommodate all the love, abundance from all universes. I'm a yes person. Let's close our hands in gratitude, go down a bit more for everything in life. Let's rub our hands together. Bless our conscious subconscious, our face with the five senses, our neck, our food pipe that gives us cellular energy, spiritual energy, our shoulders, arms, fingers, nails, upper back, middle back, spinal cord, hips, our chest, our lungs, our heart, liver, stomach, gallbladder, kidneys, uterus, intestines, sexual organs, excretory organs, thighs, knees, calves, heels, ankle, soles of feet, the roots that are growing in, toe finger and nails. Come back up. Dearest, magical, wonderful body, thank you for working on your optimum best. To all the organs, thank you for always striving. To the trillions of cells in my body, hundred thousands of blood circulation system, muscles, tissues, fibers, glands, bones, skin, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. And to the beautiful energy that flows in me, every part of me that has energy, let's share our energy, love, light, healing blessings and abundance with our Sangha, their loved ones, and all beings on Mother Earth. Let the world be full of love. Let the world become spiritual and let us go to a higher dimension. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, light, and abundance to you, Sanya, Ritu, Ankur, Nehal, Yanji, Ushaji, Rigu, Naveen, Nitin, Pratimaji, Kavita, Shubhra, Rima, Bhuvan, Meetu, Radhika, Raviji, Pooja, Asmeet, Vandana, Mudita, Prakash, Jigisha, Prachi, Rohiniji, Sakshi, Kripa, Peena, Jitendraji, Nisha, Rashi, Neelam, Parul, Bharatbhai, Ankita, Prashant, Shradniji, Mom, Richa, Reena, Sunita, Hina, Ashish, Parul, Alifya, Shami and Ankur, Akshay, Nikita, Shelly, Achal, Shivani, Puneet Bansal, Richa Jhuria. That's it. So thank you, Anika, Born One for Life, Meenakshi, Sapna, Richa Sachdev, Niriksha, Monica Agnihotri, Shalu, Alona, Poonam, everyone. Lots of love, light, and blessings. Thank you, Ritesh sir. Thank you, Amrita ma'am. Thank you, Sanjay sir. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see each other tomorrow at 5. Atma Namaste. Thank you. Be blessed. Be safe.